The South China Sea is a vital maritime region, central to global trade and regional security. Stretching over 3.5 million square kilometers, it connects the Pacific and Indian Oceans, making it one of the world's most important waterways. Its strategic location has made it a crossroads for commerce, culture, and power for centuries. About 1/3 of the world's shipping passes through these waters, carrying trillions of dollars worth of goods each year. From energy supplies to consumer products, the flow of trade through the South China Sea is essential for the economies of Asia and beyond. The region is also rich in oil, gas, and fisheries, resources crucial to Southeast Asian economies. The sea's vast reserves of hydrocarbons and its abundant marine life support millions of livelihoods, providing food and energy security for the surrounding nations. Control over the sea means influence over a major global trade route and access to vital resources. Whoever dominates these waters can shape the economic and strategic landscape of the entire region. For countries like the Philippines, Vietnam, and Malaysia, these resources are a lifeline for economic growth and energy security. Their coastal communities depend on fishing, while national economies rely on oil and gas exploration to fuel development and meet growing energy demands. China's sweeping claims and militarization, building artificial islands with military bases, have heightened tensions and challenged international norms. These actions have sparked concern among neighboring countries and the wider international community, raising fears of conflict in these contested waters. These outposts allow China to monitor and potentially control naval traffic, threatening the sovereignty of neighboring nations. The presence of advanced radar and missile systems on these islands has shifted the balance of power in the region. The U.S. has responded by increasing its military presence, aiming to ensure freedom of navigation and uphold a rules-based order. Regular patrols and joint exercises with allies send a clear message that international waters must remain open and secure for all. The standoff between China and the Philippines is now a flashpoint with global implications, drawing in major powers and shaping the region's future. As tensions rise, the world watches closely, knowing that what happens here could redefine the balance of power in Asia and beyond. China's sweeping claims over the South China Sea, demarcated by the so-called Nine-Dash Line, encompass nearly the entire expanse of this vital waterway. This area is not only rich in natural resources like oil, gas, and fisheries, but also serves as a crucial shipping route for global trade. China's assertions are deeply rooted in historical narratives and ancient maps, which it uses to justify its presence and activities in the region, despite competing claims from neighboring countries. In 2013, the Philippines, feeling increasingly threatened by China's growing presence, brought the dispute before the Permanent Court of Arbitration in The Hague, seeking a legal resolution to the escalating tensions. After years of deliberation, the tribunal delivered its landmark ruling in 2016, siding with the Philippines. The court declared that China's expansive claims had no legal foundation under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS. Despite the clear verdict, China outright rejected the ruling, dismissing it as illegitimate. Instead, it intensified its activities, building artificial islands, deploying naval vessels, and increasing patrols, further escalating regional tensions. For the Philippines, the decision was a significant legal victory, affirming its rights in the disputed waters. However, the lack of enforcement mechanisms meant that smaller nations remained exposed and vulnerable to pressure from more powerful states. The case starkly revealed the limitations of international law, especially when major powers choose to ignore or defy binding decisions, leaving the international community with few options for recourse. Today, the tribunal's ruling remains a powerful diplomatic tool for the Philippines and other Southeast Asian nations. Yet, China's continued defiance underscores the ongoing struggle to uphold a rules-based order in one of the world's most strategically important regions. China uses gray zone tactics, actions short of open conflict, to assert its claims in the South China Sea. These include deploying Coast Guard and maritime militia to harass Philippine vessels, especially during resupply missions to contested areas like Second Thomas Shoal. Aggressive maneuvers, water cannons, and lasers have endangered Philippine personnel and challenged the country's sovereignty. The Philippines has responded by documenting incidents and inviting journalists to raise international awareness. These tactics keep tensions high and make diplomatic solutions difficult, allowing China to advance its claims incrementally. In response, the Philippines is strengthening military alliances, especially with the U.S., to deter further aggression. The ongoing standoff is a test of both resilience and international support. Tensions in the South China Sea have escalated sharply in recent months, with a series of high-profile incidents drawing international attention. One notable event involved a Chinese military helicopter aggressively confronting a Philippine reconnaissance plane, a move that underscored the growing risks of direct military encounters in contested airspace. In another provocative gesture, Chinese personnel were seen planting a national flag on Sandy Cay, a disputed sandbar, sending a clear message about Beijing's territorial ambitions and willingness to assert its claims through symbolic acts. These actions have not gone unnoticed. The United States and other Western nations have issued strong condemnations, warning that such provocations increase the risk of miscalculation and could potentially trigger a wider conflict in the region. Despite ongoing diplomatic efforts, including a 2024 agreement between China and the Philippines to notify each other about resupply missions, these measures have so far failed to ease the broader tensions or build genuine trust between the parties. Instead, tit-for-tat actions at sea continue, with both sides maneuvering warships and Coast Guard vessels near disputed waters. This ongoing cycle of confrontation highlights just how difficult it is to achieve lasting peace without significant changes in policy or approach. The international community, especially the United States and regional allies, has stepped up support for the Philippines through joint patrols and diplomatic engagement. However, presenting a truly unified front remains a challenge, as differing national interests often complicate collective action. Meanwhile, China's strategy of persistent confrontation and strategic patience continues to fuel distrust, making any peaceful resolution seem increasingly out of reach for now. With each new incident, the atmosphere of hostility deepens, further complicating diplomatic progress and raising the stakes for all parties involved in the South China Sea dispute. President Bongbong Marcos has taken a firmer stance against China, reversing his predecessor's pro-China approach. He's revitalized the alliance with the U.S., granting access to 9 Philippine bases under the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement. This move boosts military readiness and serves as a deterrent to Chinese aggression. The Philippines is also strengthening ties with Australia and Japan, conducting joint military exercises to enhance regional security. The archipelagic defense concept focuses on maritime defense and protecting territorial integrity. These alliances are crucial for counterbalancing China's military buildup. Marcos's strategy is pragmatic but carries risks of further escalation. The Philippines is betting on stronger partnerships to safeguard its interests, even as diplomatic solutions remain uncertain. The South China Sea standoff has major geopolitical consequences, especially for the U.S. As a treaty ally, the U.S. is obligated to defend the Philippines if attacked, but China's gray zone tactics blur the lines of engagement. The U.S. has increased its military presence, conducting freedom of navigation operations to challenge China's claims. These actions reinforce a rules-based order, but also risk direct confrontation. Regional powers like Japan, Australia, and Vietnam are watching closely, supporting the Philippines and collective security. The standoff is reshaping alliances and the strategic balance in Asia. The risk of escalation demands careful diplomacy and strategic planning. The U.S. must navigate these complexities to prevent conflict and maintain stability. The China-Philippines standoff could end in stalemate, escalation, or, ideally, peaceful resolution. A prolonged stalemate means ongoing incidents and persistent tension, while escalation could trigger a wider conflict involving global powers. Military confrontation would disrupt trade, threaten regional security, and destabilize international relations. A peaceful outcome requires diplomatic effort, confidence building, and China's willingness to engage constructively. ASEAN and major powers must facilitate dialogue and uphold a rules-based order. The stakes are high for the entire Asia-Pacific, as the outcome will shape regional security and global trade. The international community must stay engaged, working toward a stable and equitable resolution.